Welcome to the Welcome to Broken Table Podcast. I'm Alec with special guest tonight, Adam. Let's break it down. Tonight on the show, we're going to talk about everything wrestling from AEW to Monday Night Raw to NXT to Friday Night SmackDown to what happened? There we go. To everything in the wrestling world. And I guess let's start with Monday Night Raw from last night.
Yeah, we've got to start with the moment.
John Cena.
The Grand Slam champion, finally. 20 years of trying.
I thought for a second they weren't gonna. For like 2 seconds, I'm like, "There's no way they're not gonna give Cena his moment
In Boston. In his farewell. And can we talk about it being a great match too?
It was a great match, honestly. The thing is, I feel like this is the start of the downfall of the Judgment Day. Finally, and I feel like every time we talk about it, they add a new member.
Well, I think the Judgment Day are cockroaches.
Exactly. You think they're gone, and they just, oh no, we're staying around.
We're still here. Yeah, we're still here.
We're just adding. We subtract a member, and then we add a new one. But I thought somehow Dominic was gonna find a way to
steal a victory.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. I know he does it in a lot of his matches. The chair spot where he gets the chair and pretends like somebody hit him with the chair.
I was just about to bring that up. I think that was the best spot in the match. Maybe the second best spot in the match.
The referee was so confused. He's like, "What?" Because he saw Dominic do the chair first, and then throw it to Cena. Because the referee was distracted trying to fix the turnbuckle. Then he turns back around and sees Cena as a chair, but then Cena hits himself with the chair and tosses the chair towards Dominic.
His fault.
And the referee, and I don't blame him. The referee was confused. He's like, "What? What's going on here?"
I love the nod to Eddie Guerrero. I thought it was very fitting that they would, because him and Cena, Eddie be him in that sentence. They until Eddie's unfortunate passing, they went at it. They had several bangers.
They did. The thing, Dominic picked the wrong fight on the wrong night with the wrong person.
Yeah, but I think it's the perfect end to his title run, his IC title run.
Yeah.
Now it clears the way for him to take on I think going forward, I think he should challenge. They should move him over to SmackDown and have him challenge Cody for the belt.
And we'll probably get to it later on. But here's what I think might happen. Is we know Drew got suspended. And we're not getting off topic, ladies and gentlemen, on Raw. But we're kind of throwing it around. Drew gets suspended. Do you think that is that a storyline or is that an actual thing? Because people are saying, "Oh, he's suspended," but they did it on purpose because he's filming a movie. But then it comes out that the movie he's supposed to be filming is delayed.
I wonder if some of that is those guys just want to take a break. They want to go on vacation. They want to go home and spend time with the family. They got other things, other projects like movies or television that they want to try and do. Yeah. And that's where the world of W. That's where you blur the lines between reality and fantasy and the kayfabe. Where does kayfabe end and reality begin? And I have, as someone, as someone who has been a wrestling fan for 20 years, 20 plus years now, I think everything's a work until I'm told otherwise. I think everything's part of the business. I think everything is scripted, everything is set up, every moment is manufactured. Because at the end of the day, wrestling is just theater with 300-pound dudes.
Exactly. It's exactly what it
And
is.
this is not me saying that. That's not. And then obviously, as a wrestling fan, that's not a knock on wrestling. I love the theater, the theatrical element. It's a soap opera with fist fights. So I mean, sign me up.
Same here.
Violence is
Um,
always an option. Violence is always an option. And
yes, it is. The other thing I have to ask is, and people are like, "Oh, where's Randy? Why isn't he on TV every week?" He's toward the end of his career.
yeah, it's something I've been saying for about 3 or 4 years now. Is that all those guys? Like something that I've been lamenting. I
Randy,
really
Drew,
Seth,
obviously Cena, Seth, Sheamus,
Cody, Sheamus.
Cody.
Yep.
Well, and then
Well,
Cody came out and said on a podcast last week that his next contract is probably going to be his last.
right. And then what is he going to sign? A 3, 5, 10-year? Does he sign a long term deal? Does WWE give him an 8-year deal, or do they sign him to a 3-year deal and let it run out, and then he retires? He gets his own retirement.
I think I think 3, maybe 4 years. But people are like,
Right.
and I'm so tired of hearing this from people. They're like, "Oh, Cody's title run's so boring. They're not
You
giving
just
him
don't
any
like wrestling.
credible. They're not giving him any credible opponents. It's always wash, rinse, repeat. It's always the same opponents."
Right.
Uh
I don't know what people want. It's I
they want Drew to be champion, but that's not part of Drew's storyline right now. That's the problem.
uh, yeah,
The
we've had
Drew's storyline right now is him losing these big time matches and, pardon my French, complaining and being a little crybaby about it.
yeah. No, I mean that, and he's great at it. I hate him. I can't stand him.
I can't. I have to mute the TV every time he talks.
Oh, he's such
And
a
people are
whiner.
trying to
He's such a
say,
whiny butt.
him and in this little feud he's in with Cody, he's the baby face, and Cody's the heel because Cody hit him with the title to win, hit him with a
Right.
steel chair.
And
Drew's the
but
heel.
Drew's
Drew's the
always
heel.
been. But and for me, Drew doesn't work as a face.
No, he
Drew
doesn't.
has to be. Drew has to be a heel. I don't buy him as a face. I really
He's
don't
not
buy
a
him as a heel
credible
either.
baby
But
face.
I don't
He's
I don't
more
I don't
believable
like.
to me as a heel. And I meant to mention this when we talked about this on Brad's show. Who, and I never got to it. Who do you think attacked Jacob Fatu?
Yeah, we were gonna talk about that. I don't know. I mean, I
Because
just
Nick Aldis went up to Cody and asked him point blank, "Did you attack Jacob Fatu?" And Cody was honest. He said, "No, I did not attack Drew. I mean, I did not attack Jacob. You could clear my name. I have two people. Obviously, number one is Drew because they were
yeah.
scheduled to have a match, and obviously Drew knew he was probably going to lose.
Right.
And two would be a guy that was in NXT that is supposedly getting called up to the main roster. And this would be quite a way to bring him up to the main roster. Obafemi.
It could be Obafemi. It could have been Roman.
Roman's been
I
gone for
don't
a while, so
I don't know. I haven't heard. I missed the last couple of weeks of WWE. So I'm kind of out of the loop. I did see, of course, I saw this week's Raw, which was I thought was a really good Raw.
It
But
was,
so
and let's get back to talking about it. Not to get off topic.
oh
When we
I
get to SmackDown, we can continue this whole who
yeah no
attacked
I'm
Jacob. But Raw,
Alex.
yeah, that was go.
I don't mind jumping around to wherever you want to go. So just lead away, and I have no problem with jumping around to different topics or whatever. So
Well, back to Raw for a minute.
okay, yeah,
Raw was the War Games match, and like I said before we came on, it was a good little refresh seeing William Regal do the whole War
yeah.
Games. And so, do we think these are the final teams for War Games, or are they going to add more people?
How many aren't War Games 5-man teams?
It's either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5.
Okay. So who's walk me through who's officially in War Games so far?
On the babyface side, it's Punk, Cody, and Jay
Okay.
right now. And then on the heel side, of course, it's Logan
Mm-hmm.
Paul, and the
Yep.
Bronze.
Right.
And they're
Now
saying I would keep
Seth
Seth out of it.
is Seth hurt? I thought I heard
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yes. He said he's going to be out. And I know it's hard to believe him because of the whole ruse he pulled at SummerSlam.
Right.
But I think he's actually legit hurt this time. I don't think it's
because when he was fake hurt or when he was kayfabe hurt, he was still on TV, right? If I remember correctly.
yes, he was.
And he hasn't been on TV for what 3 or 4 weeks now, right?
No, but he's on all these other either podcasts or shows.
Right.
But yeah, he's not coming back until probably next year.
Yeah. I think
You would have to think Brock Lesnar
maybe Lesnar
for the fourth guy.
Would you see Lesnar Cena? Maybe Dom?
That's what people are throwing around is for the fourth guy on the heels, Brock Lesnar, because he has a relationship with Paul Heyman.
Right. He's a Heyman guy. You know.
And then they're saying for the fifth guy on the heels, if it's not Dominic, Austin Theory.
Could be
who's
Theory.
been well, and that was the rumored plan was to put Theory in War Games on the heel side and have him come back as a heel. Because honestly, Theory was a better heel than he was face.
He was one half of A-Town Down Under, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which, according to Grayson Waller completely forgot and acted like Austin Theory was never his partner.
Could you do Theory and Lesnar and Cena and Waller on the face side?
See, the problem is they've got Waller with the New Day right now.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't, I'm sorry to be, and I don't know what you think. That doesn't make any sense.
I have to see them together again. Like I said, I've missed the last couple until this past Raw because of Cena obviously winning the title. I hadn't seen much Raw. I don't have Netflix, so I don't. And then it's like a 2-3 hour endeavor to get through it to watch 3 things that I want to see.
Yeah.
I can't justify spending.
Just go on
whatever.
When we get done, just go on YouTube and look up Grayson Waller and the New Day.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Because I don't think they were on Raw this week.
No, I didn't see anything about them on Raw. It just doesn't make from hearing it, from you just saying it. It just doesn't make sense. It's like
exactly my point. It makes
it's like
no sense at all.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have and the New Day? They fumbled the heel.
Yeah, I didn't buy them as heels. They don't work to me as heels. To me, the New Day's
morning thing they're doing right now is just it's dumb.
Oh, and I didn't
0 sense. They're mourning
Yeah,
because they've lost the tag team titles.
and I never bought them as heel champions because
You
I
mean
never saw them.
like? Let me say this: as credible heels.
Right, right. That's all. That's
So
what I
like
meant. Yeah, I'm sorry.
compared to
Because
like a Roman or a
mm,
Seth when he was a
yeah,
heel with the Authority,
yeah,
or
100%.
all the times Randy's been a heel. Which
Yeah,
I think
the what?
Randy, in my opinion, Randy's better as a heel than he is a
Uh,
face.
I think Randy's great as an ambiguous guy. Neither good nor bad. I think for me, Randy works best when he is able to do either one.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, the Viper. When he is his best character is the Viper character. When he is the unhinged, will kick his grandmother in the face to win a title. That is
Or
the best.
what he did, the whole thing he did with Nick Aldis, where he said,
Mhm.
where when he RKO'd a WWE official and had to pay whatever the fine was, he's like, oh,
$50,000.
$50,000, and he brings the fine thing to Nick Aldis, and Aldis looks at it and says, $100,000, and Randy says, "This is for the
For
next
them.
time I do it."
Yeah, yeah. I think unhinged Randy is the best Randy, where he's not a face, he's not a heel, he's just he's just Randy Orton when he can be the Viper. And I know it's hard
Or the Legend
for
Killer, like he was during COVID, where he
well,
was
I know it's
taking out
hard.
legends left and right. Like he took out Shawn Michaels,
Yes,
he took out
yeah,
Ric Flair, Edge,
yeah.
Christian.
And I know it's hard for him to be that guy anymore, just physically. He's like 50 years old now, so
Yeah,
I understand, but I think but to go back to to go back to the New Day briefly, I think their gimmick more lends to a comedy act, a comedy characters, kind of
yes.
silly, goofy, funny.
Kind of like the revival or before they left and went to AEW.
Right, because them playing, them being silly and funny and doing more and being more acrobatic than physical. Like
Yeah.
brute strength, more. I hate to use the word cerebral. It's not really the right word, but
No,
more
that would
more
be
tactical.
Triple H.
All right, more technical. Technical is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
More technical
Yeah,
wrestling
more technical.
as as opposed, because I think they could have. I think if Big E had been available, they could have pulled off a heel run better,
Yes.
because then they could be. Then the three of them, they could do underhanded dirty tights and have the muscle to back it up. But Kofi Kingston and help me, what's the other guy's
Xavier
name?
Woods.
Xavier Woods. They're just too silly to be taken seriously as bad guys,
And then you
in
put
my
Grayson
opinion.
Waller with them.
And I think for me that could work if they were still like 2015, 2016 New Day, with where they were playing the trombone and they were wearing the silly outfits and they were just being silly.
Yeah.
I think that could have worked. But if they're trying to be a serious professional wrestlers in the what it's worth category of serious professional wrestling, um, I just can't buy
Neither. I can't either.
it.
Uh, but yeah, and then you got. So I want to. Does Jimmy get involved in War Games? Because I
Possibly,
feel like that's a name we're forgetting. Is Jimmy LA Knight?
yeah. You know, anything and
Because
everything is
people are
possible. It really
saying that
depends.
LA
The other,
Knight has been relegated to commercial promos now. No, he
you
hasn't.
know, I think the big problem for War Games right now is the Cena tournament, because what if you have, do you want to put someone in war? Because we know the wrestling may be fake, but the injuries are certainly real. And
Yes.
if you want to have LA Knight, one or both of the Usos, and maybe Joe Henry or Miz or take your favorite to be the fourth guy in the final four for the Cena, and you put one of those guys, you put one of the Usos, you put LA Knight, you put Miz in War Games, and now all of a sudden they get hurt. They get hurt coming out of War Games, or they get hurt going into War Games. All of a sudden you have to scrap everything and start over. That I think personally for me, if I'm booking this and I'm trying to book Cena's last match is a grand finale, there's a grand send off. You want to have all of your cards in your hand. You don't want to be playing. You don't want to be playing a man short when you're trying to set up this grand finale match.
Well,
so you take guys that are not.
My thing is, here's a name that nobody's talking about, and I don't know if he's in the tournament. What about Gunther?
Gunther's still hurt. There's rumors that he could be back for War Games or the tournament. I've heard both. He may be that.
LA Knight doesn't have an opponent Friday night, and everybody's saying, it's not going to be Gunther because he's still hurt, and if Gunther was to beat LA Knight, it would hurt LA Knight. I'm thinking it's one of three people. Obafemi.
Could be Obafemi.
I don't want to say his name. I guess I have to. Joe Hendry. Uh oh. Is he gonna appear out of nowhere? I want to say this. That NXT last week when he was in that main event segment, he said, "I was gonna wait to Gold Rush to tell you my partner," and then Thea Hale just comes
out of the
blasting out of the cake.
And then she cream pies the other two dudes.
It was Chelsea Green and Ethan Page.
Oh god, I didn't realize Chelsea Green was back on NXT.
Yeah, because they really have nothing. Well, she did win the Women's U.S. Championship.
Right.
People are saying, they fumbled Julia. No, they've got bigger plans for her.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong. I'm out of the loop. But wasn't Chelsea Green up on the main roster?
She was. She was on SmackDown.
Right? Okay. At least I'm not losing my mind totally.
With Piper Niven and Alba Fire. And now they're doing this whole thing with her on NXT, since there's really nothing for her on the main roster right now. Other than, of course, like I said last Friday, winning the Women's United States Championship.
Ethan Page, I think
he could fit in War Games.
I'd like to see Ethan Page. Well, did you hear? Okay, that they issued an open challenge for Cena's last match.
Mm-hmm.
So So it's basically like I said, like 3 months ago now. I think it was over on Brad's show. We were talking about how we would book Cena's last match, and I said a gauntlet match where all of Cena's best opponents come out and have one more go.
Well, yes, but
did you see
Solo is in the same position LA Knight's in. We have no idea who Solo's opponent's going to be, and everybody's trying to predict. And it's not going to be somebody that's in NXT or on the main roster. And we know it's not somebody from AEW, obviously.
Right.
So they're saying there's three people from TNA that it could be. Matt Cardona, Moose, or Joe Hendry. If Joe Hendry doesn't end up being LA Knight.
Right.
I wouldn't mind Matt Cardona versus Solo Sikoa. Maybe Matt Cardona back in WWE.
Was Matt Cardona, he was Zack Ryder, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And now he says Zack Ryder's dead.
Good. Zack Ryder was a terrible character. Good. I always hated Zack. Yeah. I always hated it.
I've watched wrestling for a long time, and I've seen some horrible characters. Zack Ryder was okay.
I hated
the one I hated the most was when they screwed up with Chad Gable and they made him Shorty G. That was
Oh,
horrible.
we want to talk about horrible characters.
Happy
Brodus
Corbin.
Clay. Oh, well, I hated Corbin. I just hated Corbin. Any iteration. I never liked the some bitch. Never liked him.
I never
Never.
liked him either.
I didn't like Happy Corbin. I didn't like King Corbin. I didn't like
The whole King Corbin thing, they fumbled that big time.
wasn't didn't he do a run as like corporate Corbin at one point?
Yes, and that was even worse.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I couldn't remember if that was something I was making up or
No.
no.
That was when WWE was unwatchable. Because it was the same thing every week. Because Vince was in charge.
Mm-hmm. When me and Brad, when I first started doing Brad's show, we would talk wrestling, once a month, a couple times a month, maybe. And all we'd do is complain. We'd never say, "Oh, this was a great, that was a great SmackDown. That was a great Raw. Yeah, I can't wait to watch NXT on Tuesday." No, it was all terrible.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden we're saying, "Oh, we can't wait to watch NXT."
I can't wait for I can't wait for War Games. I can't wait to see Cena's last showdown.
Last match.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be?
Well, here's the thing. People are saying after Cena's last match, they're gonna have the same thing they had with whoever it was when they retired, where everybody comes out of the locker room. Yes, I think it might have been, but where everybody comes out of the locker room, hugs him, and they say, "Oh, that's when Edge's music is gonna hit. He's gonna come out. He's gonna hug Cena." No, Edge is still contracted with AEW.
I know.
That's not gonna happen. And I'm
just
trying to get that. It would. I'm trying to get that across to people that think, "Oh, just because he's with another company." It is WWE's biggest rival.
Right.
There's no way in heck Tony Khan is going to let Edge or Christian come across to WWE just to tell Cena thank you and goodbye. And we'll get to AEW in a little bit because I think
you, man, I can't stand
a certain person in AEW might be leaving AEW soon and coming back to WWE, even though we say,
okay. Well, we can go there if you want. We can go there now.
Go ahead.
So I've heard it was Dean Ambrose, whatever he's going by under
John Moxley.
John Moxley Dean Ambrose.
That's the name I've heard too. And maybe after he gets done with Blood and Guts and the Death Riders quit on him because Darby Allin's made him quit twice without physically saying the words, "I quit." And I think Blood and Guts is tomorrow night. I wish I could watch it, but I can't because I'm going to be at the University of Tennessee North Florida basketball game.
Okay.
But I'll probably see the highlights the next morning.
Right.
And I have a sneaky feeling that the Death Riders are going to quit on John Moxley tomorrow night.
Well, if that does happen, and Moxley's contract is up with AEW,
he signed. The problem is he signed a contract extension. But nowadays contracts don't really matter.
Contracts can be gotten out of if you're unhappy. You can get out of a contract.
Look at Rusev. He was unhappy in AEW.
Yeah, he got out of his contract.
People are already trying to say, "Oh, Rusev's they're failing Rusev in his return with WWE." No, they're not.
I mean, the problem is they have too much talent.
Yes, they do.
There's just
that's why they need to. And I know you probably watched it back in the day, Monday Night Nitro, and
of course
they need to have something like that where you have certain guys on SmackDown, certain guys on Raw, certain on NXT, and then you have guys that are on. Maybe it's not Monday. On all three, or you start like a smaller show where you have the up and coming stars, not NXT, but like maybe a
step above NXT.
Yeah, for like the young talent. Not evolve because
they need more mid card titles too.
yes, they do.
You can't have the U.S. title and the IC title being the only mid card titles.
You need the European. I think they personally need to bring back the European Championship.
The European Championship would be good. They could create a new championship.
I want to say the 24/7 Championship because even though that was horrible when it was made, but it was funny because whoever won it,
anywhere, anytime.
Yes, R-Truth made that championship relevant and fun because you never knew what was going to happen. The amount of tricks that R-Truth would pull with that championship, hiding under the ring, on a table, under the ring, on the backside of a table, hiding in an elevator,
right?
Disguising himself as something else.
But I think they need to have at least one more serious mid-card title.
I don't want to say 24/7 Championship needs to come back, but they need a updated version of the 24/7 Championship. I think they need to move Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania.
I don't know. Money in the WrestleMania is already bloated. It's a 6-hour extravaganza. I don't think they need. I think Money in the Bank.
It's 2 nights now. It's not the one night anymore.
Oh, that's what I meant. It says 6. It's a 2-night. It's 6-hour. Both.
Or you know what you could do? You could do the Money in the Bank match the night before WrestleMania on the SmackDown before Mania.
I don't know. I don't know if that would work because then going into Mania,
it would be unpredictable. Because say you have your world champion going on night 1 or night 2, and they go through a grueling match, and they're laying out, and here comes the Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah, but the Money in the Bank winner went through a grueling match the night before, so I like Money in the Bank being its own show.
Hold up. Or my other idea is you do it like 2 or 3 weeks before Mania, or like a month before, so that way the Money in the Bank winner has time to heal up from that match. Then going into Mania, say Braun Breaker or somebody younger wins the Money in the Bank. Like people this coming year are trying to say, oh, it's going to be LA Knight. How do we know who's going to be in the Money in the Bank match next year?
Right.
We don't. It could be LA Knight. And yes, LA Knight absolutely deserves to win the Money in the Bank. Logan Paul does not deserve to be anywhere near a championship. And it's just hilarious to me that he was the one to answer Punk. Punk would wipe I know Punk knocked him out, but Punk would wipe the floor with him. He's more of to me, Logan Paul's more of a mid-card title person.
No, I guess that's what we were just saying about the having another mid-card title where he could take
or somebody that can be in a tag team.
Yeah, I think Logan would be good in a tag.
I did too.
I think.
Problem is, there's nobody in the locker room that really likes him. That's the issue. Is nobody in the locker room likes him because of all the snide remarks he makes. Maybe he could get his brother to come to WWE.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the Logan Paul character. I think it's great. He's so easy to hate. He's so easy to hate. He's so easy to hate.
Just like Seth Rollins was. When Seth was a heel with the Authority. You're like, oh, what's Seth going to do now to win a match and retain his title?
Yep.
I started disliking him right after he was in the Authority. and he had the whole feud with Ambrose where he curb stomped Ambrose through cinder blocks.
I forgot about that.
Yep. And then what made me Randy Orton's best moment had to be that RKO at WrestleMania when Seth tried to go for the curb stomp.
What, 14 feet in the air?
And Randy just RKO's him. But Randy's best RKO was Evan Bourne.
I was just about to say that. The best RKO that Randy ever gave was the Evan Bourne RKO. It was a thing of beauty.
Some of Randy's greatest matches were like Evan Bourne, Edge.
Yep.
Edge at WrestleMania. Cena.
He had so many good ones with Cena over the years.
Rock. No, I don't think he ever. Cena had some good matches with Rock. And some good promo battles with Rock.
I ain't got my promos on my wrist.
Cena's best character. I like the character he had toward the end of his career, but I also like the Doctor of Thugonomics because he was not scared. He was not scared to say anybody.
Yeah.
Whether it be Rey Mysterio, whether it be Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle trying to rap was just...
That was a thing that should have never happened.
Kurt Angle, that was atrocious. Kurt Angle trying to rap.
Didn't he had his hat on backwards and he was like doing this thing, if I remember right?
No, he had his hat on sideways.
Let me show you.
Like this.
Right. He was doing this thing, I think, if I remember right. It might have been somebody else, but
yeah, no, it was Kurt Angle, and he was trying to get, I think it was Earl Hebner to do a beat.
Right. Dude. Well,
he roasted, when Cena was Dr. Thugonomics, he roasted so many people.
I liked him. I liked when whether
it be Ray, Kurt Angle. His best one had to be Big Show.
I don't know. I think his best was when I think it was one of his first feuds with Edge.
Oh,
when he went in on yeah. I enjoyed that. But then again,
you know what? I also enjoyed when he had his little feud with Theory for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he said, or was that Roman that said, your daddy's not here anymore? After Vince got kicked out.
I think that was Theory, if memory serves me.
No, it was Theory, but was it Cena or Roman that said that line?
I'm going to be straight up and completely honest with you. I don't remember right off the top of my head. I think it was Cena. It might have been Roman, but I think it was Cena.
Actually, it was Cena. It was Roman because Theory had Money in the Bank at the time. He had just won Money in the Bank, and he was cutting a promo. Roman came out and said, your daddy's not here anymore. Good luck trying to cash in. And then Cena did have a good one with him too, where he said, you need to go get your you-know-what checked because you have no you-know-what.
Yeah.
Cena he didn't care.
No, that was whether he was the doctor of Thugonomics or he was the fresh-faced John Cena, first-run John Cena, or he was Super Cena, or he was late-stage Cena, heel Cena.
My other favorite one was when he just desecrated Solo on the mic.
Oh.
And he said, I'm going to make you a 90-second forgettable character with half a voice. Because it was after Solo had spiked him. It was the week after Solo Sikoa spiked him. Which Solo's another character that I used to dislike with a passion. But slowly I don't
been.
care for his faction, but him as a character, I've come around.
I think Solo. I think what the WWE would benefit from
he should get his flowers for the work he's put in.
He needs a title run. They need a third mid card title so that he can have a title. So that somebody can come up so that he can be so that Rusev and LA Knight and all these other guys who are not quite yet ready to be main yeah, because was it Nakamura that had that slobber knocker with Sheamus the other Monday night?
Yes.
What a match! I know we've been all over the place, but I think Solo would benefit from having a third title. I think he would be another guy that would benefit from having.
He was U.S. champ for a little bit,
but then they took the belt off of him, and who's got the U.S. title now?
Ilya Dragunov, which he's been putting on banger. He's been putting on top.
Whoa, who did he have a match with the other night?
Gargano.
Was it Monday that he had that match?
Friday.
Or was it last Friday?
Friday.
Yeah. Right. That was a hell of a match.
People are like, oh, he keeps ducking Ciampa. No, there's a story there. They're going to give Ciampa his match eventually.
Do you
think
you got all these people fooled? You got all these people fooled? You can't fool me, Ciampa.
Do you think that one of these open challenges that a guy like Obafemi or Trick Williams answers it and beats Ilya?
He could. Why not? I mean, personally, that's not how I prefer to book new talent.
Same here. I love though that they're giving Ilya the spotlight with the title.
Well, I think he's benefited from getting out from under Gunther's shadow.
Ilya,
am I right?
That was Ludwig Kaiser, which he's been supposedly gone for a long time. But I have a theory. It may be way out there. I feel like he is one of the El Grande Americanos.
Could be.
Because there's three different ones. There's two short guys, which I feel like one of them's Tyler Bate, and the other one's Pete Dunne. And then the third one is tall, and Ludwig Kaiser's tall.
Because Chad Gable's on the shelf, isn't he? Am I wrong?
And that's the other person that people are saying, oh, they fumbled Chad Gable. No, they didn't.
Well, I mean,
technically they didn't. He's just hurt. And I think when Gable comes back, he will win the IC title.
That would be fun.
Give him and have him do what Ely is doing on SmackDown, on Raw.
Right.
Open challenges.
A new question that just popped into my head. I got one for you, and you've been asking me all these questions tonight. Who takes the belt off Cena? Anybody? Or does Cena retire? Does Cena retire with the belt and leave the belt behind? Does he? Okay. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna set up my scenario for you and give you a second to think about it. Does he take off his? Does he take off his wristband like? Does he take off his shirt and his wristband like Taker did, or his whatever they call that thing that he wears on his armband. No kidding, an armband. Takes off his armband, folds them up, leaves them on the ring, and sets the championship on top of it, and walks to the back, almost like in an homage to what the Undertaker did with his jacket and his hat when he finally retired. Did he leave the boots behind? I couldn't remember if he left the boots behind.
He did, and then he came back for one more WrestleMania.
Right. Obviously,
I was in the building when he had that match with Roman. He should have beat Roman.
He should have beat Roman. He should have beat Lesnar.
But they had to end the streak at some point, though.
We're not ready for that conversation.
No, we're not. I think that's a possibility. But I do think there is somebody that could take the title off of him that needs it. Maybe LA Knight?
Does he drop Does he drop the belt before his retirement match, or is he IC champion going into that December 13th final event? John Cena, tens of thousands of dollars a ticket. Does he? Do you think he carries that belt with him for the rest of his career, or does he drop the belt? Does he drop the strap on Monday on Raw next week?
I think he's going to carry it through Survivor Series into Saturday night's main event. And we're going to get the final's going to be Cena's last opponent is going to be Sheamus. And here's
And
why.
then Sheamus.
What's the one title Sheamus has never won?
The IC title.
Yes.
And you know what that makes
Cena
him?
drops it to Sheamus. And Sheamus
And you know what that makes him? Indeed, it does.
Yes.
That's an angle. That's an angle.
That's that is an angle. And then you have Sheamus put on open challenges to put over younger talent. And then eventually Sheamus loses it to maybe Pete Dunne.
Trick Williams, Pete Dunne,
or Javon Evans. Unless they're going to put
Gable comes back. What about I've heard, I don't know if you heard this, but what I was reading is that the surgery went well and that Kevin Owens hopes to be back early next year. That was the most recent article I saw was back from August. He's still got work to put in to get back, but he says he wants to be back he'd like to be back early next year if he can. If he's coming back, he'll be back early next year.
You know what? Give me a Kevin Owens IC title run.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
I think I want heel Kevin Owens.
Okay, I was just about to ask, what Kevin Owens would you rather have? Face Kevin Owens or heel Kevin Owens? I'm in between. Or here's another one. And I know this, he said this is his last year when he comes back to WWE. He's coming over from AEW, where he helped start that company. Christopher Jericho. Would you mind
Jericho coming back?
And it's almost a set done deal. He's coming back in 2026 for one final run in WWE. And apparently to put over younger talent and help elevate.
Help guide and mentor.
Yeah. Could you see him being an IC champion one more time?
I wouldn't hate it. As much as I never liked the Jericho character, you respect his talent, and he's just not a character that I've ever jived with. I've always rooted against him. He's just not my cup of tea. But him to come back for one last hoorah, as it were. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it would. I think him and Owens could put on a good show. Could
you see them reuniting them one more time to run back that angle from, I think it was 2017 or 2018, where they were best friends and then they turn on each other again?
What if they went from enemies to lovers? Like they start out as butting heads, battling for the IC title. They both lose the title to a third guy.
I know what you're referencing. The best of 7 between Sheamus and Cesaro from 2016, when they absolutely despised each other, and then they eventually became a really good tag team.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think
something Owens like that was KO and Jericho.
Yeah, KO.
Where they go through like a best of 7, and they're like, you know what? Screw it. And Owens comes out and says, I know this is Jericho's last year, and this is his retirement run. I want to bring back an old angle and us be best friends again. Because, 2018, 2017, that was one of the only things that kept Raw
Yeah, watchable.
good, watchable, because everything else on the show is just horrific. And I think they cruelly misused Owens and Jericho as a team,
Yeah.
especially when
No,
they put Owens in the shark cage when Jericho was the Universal Champion.
see, that's about that they could bring back is the Universal title.
They could, but where would that fit? Because you've already got 2 world champions. Make it a mid card title.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Make it a mid card title.
I don't hate it.
Make it an open title. Make it an open title that anybody can win and defend on any brand.
Oh,
So
okay. So so basically, what you're saying is like the women's tag team titles.
yeah, like it's an
So
open
like
title
right
that
now,
anybody can.
Charlotte and Alexa, they can go to Raw, they can go to SmackDown, they can go to NXT.
TNA.
If they wanted to, they could go to TNA, but there's not a
Yeah,
lot of
I think it would.
women tag teams in TNA.
Right, but I think that it would fit with the Universal title, right? That
It would,
name, Universal. It doesn't matter where in WWE, TNA, NXT you are. You can
as
that
long
title
as you're
can
in those 4 brands.
as long as you're on one of those
Well,
four
I
brands.
mean,
Anybody,
could you allow it on independency
I would
to an
I would
extent?
think about it. Yeah, yeah. I think it would be. I think it would be okay for like if they can work. Yeah,
GCW or
yeah. If they can work, if they can work, then yeah. Let anybody
GCW,
challenge for it.
MLW, whatever,
Whatever,
whatever Zilla Fatu's on right now.
whatever that Florida Gulf Coast, whatever that is. If they're, I don't even know if that still exists or not.
No, are you talking about Florida Championship Wrestling?
Yeah,
FCW? No, that's not
yeah.
around anymore. That was the former brand of NXT.
Okay, okay. I thought so, but I couldn't
That's where
remember.
guys like Roman, Brock,
Cena.
Cena,
Yeah.
Taker. That's where they all were
Does,
before.
is Ohio Valley Championship Wrestling still around?
Ah, that
OCW?
that I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, yeah, if you can work, if you can work,
With independent indie promotions to an extent, I would allow it.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
as
to an
long as
extent.
they don't take it to like AEW
No, of course not. They
or
have to be
New
in a
Japan. Well, would you allow it
they
in New Japan?
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it being on New Japan. I wouldn't hate it.
So
If
you
we
would
can
say
work
the
it
only one that is absolutely not allowed is
as AEW.
AEW.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because A
so say you got somebody that wins the title, and they have like 2 or 3 months left under contract, and they're getting tampered with, and it like Tony Khan has been calling them and giving them contract offers. Would you say either you stay here, we give you a nice
if you want
hefty,
to keep the belt, you have to stay. Sign on the dotted line. Otherwise, we strip you of the belt, and if you
we
want
give it to somebody else?
to, we give it to somebody else. If you want to leave, we're not holding someone hostage. We're not
No,
like,
they're not
but
doing what Tony Khan's doing with all these guys don't that don't like being in AEW. Like look at like Wardlow. He
mm,
hasn't been well, he came back, then he got hurt again. But for the longest time that I've watched AEW, they never use Wardlow.
okay.
He gets put in like little mini stories, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gets taken out of those stories. Like he's a guy that, in my opinion, I feel like he's being held hostage in
Mm,
AEW, and they need. And there's been talk. Him and WWE have talked, and I think he'd fit in WWE.
no, and I think the benefit, like you could put like the universal title being a universal championship that anybody on any brand could win. You know, you're gonna what is let's say Logan Paul he's on SmackDown, right?
He's on
Or is
Raw
he on?
right now.
Okay, he's on Raw. And
He
give me a
wins that,
SmackDown
but
guy. Hey,
it's a guy I hate, but Carmelo Hayes.
okay, Kamala Hayes. Let's say we put the Universal title on Logan. Kamala Hayes shows can let's say if SmackDown and anytime SmackDown and Raw are in the same city, you can challenge for the belt. Anytime, if it's on SmackDown and NXT is in the same city, you can challenge for the belt. So that way,
Yeah, so like a guy, so say it was in the same city as NXT, a guy like
yeah,
Javon Evans, a guy like Ricky
Trick Williams,
Saints. Like
and
I
then,
said earlier, I think Trick is going to get called up soon because there's really nothing
but
left on NXT for him other than obviously this rematch he's going to have with Ricky Saints.
right, what I'm
Which
thinking.
I think we personally, we both know that they're not going to put the belt back on Trick.
Not especially if he's getting called up. If that's all but a done deal, why would you put it? Why would you put a belt back on him just for him to get called up? Because then you have the
Exactly.
whole rigmarole.
Well, and
You have
then
the whole
here's my
rigmarole.
thing. What do you do with Trick on the main roster? Do you put him back with Carmelo Hayes? Because they still, it seemed like when they did their one-off thing on NXT where they were a tag team, they kind of still had a little tension from when they broke up, when they split back a couple years ago. Which I remember I was watching the pay-per-view that they split at. And Trick had Carmelo Hayes had just retained his NXT championship. And Trick was celebrating with him, and then all of a sudden, and we know this is how a heel turn starts, is the guy or girl that's in a faction or a group.
A tag team.
Yeah, goes behind their partner. And we're gonna talk about Nikki Bella in a second because I thought that was genius what she did last night. Okay. But anyway, that's how Trick and Mello broke up is what leading into Nikki Bella last night helping Stephanie Vicaire beat. Well, not really beat, but she was there to neutralize Roxanne Perez and her and Stephanie's match with Raquel. Stephanie retained. Nikki celebrated with her, but then we all know everybody's like, oh, the heel turn's not happening tonight. There's no way. And then Nikki turns around and walks back toward the back rope of the ring, comes back up behind Stephanie Vicaire and just clocks her, and then picks up the title, raises it up. And then I think she bent down and said, "You really thought I was going to be friends with you?"
Well, I only have
Nikki Bella is better as a heel than she is as a face.
I only have three words for that. Cena left you.
Yep. Those are the 3 words I have too. Cena left you.
I want to go back to oh god, yeah, Trick. Thank you. Real quick, and then we can move on to something else. But it's not just Trick. It's anybody you call up to the main roster. I think that you need to give them 6 months before you do anything special with them. Give them 6 months to get their feet wet, to get into the bump and grind of a WWE schedule. Have them wrestle a handful of times. Have them talk a handful of times, and see where they're at. And don't just put them in a storyline. Don't put them in a main event storyline. Even for like the IC title or the US Championship. Let them get up there. Let them take.
I agree. Start them with lower.
See if they can feuds. See if they can carry a feud. See if they're see if they can carry a feud with somebody that they're not familiar with. Because putting him against Kamal Hayes, not Kamal Anthony, which is all that was coming to my mind. Put him in a feud against Kamal Anthony and see if he can carry storyline. No, putting him up against. Sorry, I'm really loud right now.
Carmelo Hayes.
Thank you.
Or putting him back with Carmelo Hayes after they still had a little friction the one time they did tag just recently.
We've already seen them together. and we know that they can work well together, whether they're feuding, whether
Well,
they're in a
I
tag.
mean, could you still put Trick in another in a tag team for a couple
You could
months?
you could put him in a tag. I personally, I don't like
He
doing
would
that
with a
personally because
veteran
you could do that. You could put him.
like they did
I
that
think
with Matt Riddle and Randy.
that really worked until Riddle popped hot, and then they had to get rid of him. Um,
Yeah, but
I
no,
I thought,
who would be a
what
perfect
about
guy to put with Trick?
you know who I just thought of is
Who?
Carlito.
He's not with WWE anymore.
He's not. Oh,
No,
well,
he
never
got
mind.
released again. I got one.
Damn.
What about so Trick comes up to the main roster, put him on SmackDown
Yeah, that's what I was
with,
thinking.
with the Street Profits.
That could. I don't know. I don't know about putting a third guy into an established faction though. Putting the new guy in an established faction. It doesn't give it
Or
any.
would you have him come up to the main roster and create his own
You could do
stable
that. You could do that.
with
You could
him
have him come.
and maybe Last Legend who just got called up and paired with Nia, which how is Nia still employed by WWE?
I will say this: she's gotten better to suck. So
She
she,
has.
yeah, she's went from god awful to sucks. So good on
She
her.
and people are like, oh, she's safe to work with. No, she's not. How many
Yeah,
people
I
have
mean,
gotten injured having matches with her?
she was. She's gotten safer. Let's put it. Let's not say safe. Safer. Yeah, she was the most dangerous woman in WWE, and
I
not for a
remember
good
when she
reason.
first debuted, I'm like, maybe there's something there. They need to have, you know how they have a men's bloodline? They need to have
Yeah,
a women's version of it with her, Tamina,
yeah, I think that would work.
Naomi, the three of them. And then you have Roman has Jacob, Jay, Jimmy, Zilla whenever he debuts. What's that's the other name
Sakala.
people are throwing around is Zilla Fatu. Zilla is I'm not gonna say he's not ready, but I don't think he's quite there yet
There
in
yet?
terms of learning because he's still kind of young.
Well, we're about 18 years from the debut of the next member of the bloodline, the
Yep.
Uso baby.
Yep.
Did you
Well,
see
and
those?
then you had apparently Lance, I think it was Lance on Hawaii, was
Okay.
supposed to debut in WWE, but I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago they released him.
Mm.
Oh
Well,
no,
that's a kick in the nads.
he asked for his release because he's like, I'm sick of sitting around not doing anything.
I mean, if you're
And
not getting,
I'm gonna make a public service announcement right now to Tony Khan. Tony Khan, you need to let these people go that are not doing anything on AEW. Wardlow.
right.
I would have said Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, but what they do? He decided to reunite them, so they're out of the
Mm.
equation. Keith Lee, who,
Oh wow,
if you
that's a
didn't
name I
let
haven't
Vince,
thought of.
if you didn't let Vince get his hands on Keith Lee, I think Keith Lee would have been really good in on the main roster.
Mm. Well,
Just
and
like Vince kind of, and I'm going to say this, I think Vince ruined Karrion Kross. It's not
I just don't
Triple
think there was
H.
an. I just don't think there was enough for Karrion Kross. Again, another guy that would have benefited from a third mid card title.
Don't get me wrong, though. Karrion Kross, before they let him, I'm not going to say walk, but before he left and went independent, that whole thing he was doing with Sami Zayn
Yeah,
and all these people that were in the Money in the Bank, that was genius.
that was something that I'm still disappointed in Karrion Cross's run with WWE, because I thought he had the potential to
But
be
he
another.
did. He
But
did go on a. I think it was a podcast or a show, and say that the door is not closed for him to come
right,
back to WWE because he left on
right,
good. He left on good terms. Moxley, it might take a lot to mend fences and rebuild bridges because when he left, all the crap he said about WWE.
well, I mean, CM Punk's back and he dropped the pipe bomb on TV. So all I gotta say is,
Yeah,
if the money's right,
and people are trying,
anybody,
and I see
well,
videos on YouTube all the time of people trying to put, oh, the Shield's gonna come back together. I think if Moxley comes back, yes, it might be to put the Shield in the Hall of Fame, but they're not gonna come back. He's not gonna come back to be in the Shield again. He's probably gonna
well,
do one more solo run and then retire. Because I
yeah,
can tell
well,
when I watch AEW, there's times where he struggles to get back up after matches.
he's gotta be pushing what, 40, 45? He's
50
been
maybe.
in, yeah, I know he's not a spring chicken anymore.
And
Um,
the
but
problem is if he did come back to WWE, you'd think he want to bring his wife with him.
right, you would think,
And she's contracted with AEW.
yeah. I
So
mean,
she would have to figure
but
out a way to get out of her contract with
yeah.
AEW.
Well, Ted DiBiase said it best 50 years ago. Everybody's got a price. Money,
Yep.
money, money, money.
Everybody
So
does have a price.
that's what I think. That's what I think about when I think of somebody coming. Well, what can they do? How can you fix fences and mend bridges? Hey, if the money's right and they want to
Mhm.
work with, it really depends on WWE at that point.
Yeah.
If Moxley gets out of his contract and wants to come back to WWE, it's really going to depend on the price, because
Yeah.
CM Punk came back, Jericho's coming back apparently. Um,
Rusev.
Ric Flair came back. Uh, Bret Hart came. I mean, if we're going to talk about the ultimate no burnt bridges, never coming back to return, 2008, Bret Hart comes back almost 10 years later. Bret Hart comes back to WWE. No, 10 years later. More than 10 years later, Bret Hart came back. Yeah, after the Montreal screw job, after Vince, after he swore up and down, Vince screwed him, Vince screwed him, Vince screwed him. Bret came back. The Hart Foundation reformed. After Owen's death, Bret came back. I mean, wrestling is a never say never business. I
Yes.
mean, Undertaker's been back on TV after Undertaker swore his life he would never come back perform on. He was done. He was out. He was finished. He was old. He was retired. Undertaker came back and gave uh The Rock a choke slam. So anything in wrestling, if I've learned anything in the last 30 years of wrestling,
Anything can
anything is
happen.
possible.
Yep. And to wrap it up, that'll do it for tonight. We will see
Okay.
everybody on Thursday next week. Have a wonderful night, everybody.